Hey, good evening, and welcome to this Friday night, uh, November 14th, 2025. And Jason, my brother in Christ, Jason, we were going to do the talk about the Beatitudes, but he couldn't make it tonight. Busy guy, got off. I said, "Don't sweat the small stuff. We'll skip it. We'll do it." So tonight, though, I will be doing some news. Okay. So hopefully everything's going well. I can't believe Thanksgiving is right around the corner. It's crazy, crazy. And the weather here, like 70 something degrees today. How can you not get sick? Man, it's 31 day and 70 the next. That's, and the thing is, you grow up in the Midwest, especially here in Missouri, it's, you should know by now. You grew up here. That's just the weather, but you always talk about the weather, how hot it is, how cold it was, how warm it is now. It's just something like to talk about, just something, right? So anyway, um, I have nothing. It's down here. I have nothing on your mainstream news because, for one, I don't watch the news, and I'm sick of a lot that they lie to you. They only show you death, destruction, division, and depression. In the so-called this government shutdown, the only thing I got to say is being a non-political channel is why did we have to pay taxes? If the government shuts down, they work for the people, right? Isn't that everybody says? That's what we vote for us, the people. Well, apparently they don't give a rat's butt. And I'm sure they're still getting paid. Why? Why are they still getting paid? I don't know. Just wondering. Are they? Do they still get paid? I would think. You know, you haven't heard anything that they're not. Why should they get paid? They walk off. They're walking, turning their backs on the people. Vote them out. Vote the two-party system. Give the power back to the states, and then have representatives from each county and city and state. Divided up. However many counties. You know, what 5, 6 counties, whatever a state might have, and then send them, and then have your state representative. And the only tax you would have to pay is a state tax. And you just wrap it all up in personal property and everything. I don't know. So just something crazy to think about. No, you know, vote the two-party system out. It doesn't work. And then what the government does, or whatever your federal government president, they handle the military. That's their job. And that was their purpose, I believe. And then you have your state, your representatives in Washington that make sure there's balance of power within the states and they don't abuse or they don't, you know, stuff like that. And each state would set up their health system, uh, everything, you know, heck with the insurance companies. Sorry, but it's crazy, right? Let the states govern themselves. The people vote. Everything's a vote. in each state. The law does not pass unless it's voted on. And then choose God and Jesus Christ first and foremost. The government's not going to do it for you. So that's my little rant on the government. And let's see, fall, interesting season so far. Hockey, oh man, in St. Louis, our Blues. I'm hoping this will be they will suck until January, and then all of a sudden turn it on, and who knows? We had season tickets the year they won the Stanley Cup in 2019, and it was a value pack. So it came out to like 17 games or 18 games or something like that. So a couple of months maybe, which was cool, you know. But it was like no weekends, no rivalry games, no. And then we didn't even get offered, hey, did you want a playoff ticket? You know, weren't even offered that. So then they won the Stanley Cup. So we definitely called back and said, well, we're going to renew. Well, we don't. And they said, we don't sell those no more. We have to buy either half a season or a full. Yeah. You know, hey, I'll watch them on TV when I can, and I'll just keep up with them as I can, the best I can. That's how it's gotten. So anyway, hope your team does well. And the season just started. So let's see, baseball. Dodgers got it. Didn't watch baseball. Not much of a. Don't watch baseball much anymore. Sports in general. It was just gone. It's getting really dumb. I'm sorry. Like football. Okay. What I noticed is every play is a replay. It's like every first down, every it's like every play is a review. Look, look at the jumbo screen and just go with it. Come on. There's something behind that. There's something else behind that when you do that. It just prolongs the game, sell more food and beer and commercials. I don't know. And it's got to be frustrating for players, and they will never say it or probably admit it. You know, um, some of the calls are sloppy, bad calls. Um, I don't know. It's like it's definitely changed. I think they should go like with the UFL instead of the field goal. Go with the you know 1, 2, or 3 points and run play. When it starts on what the 5 or the or someone got the 5, the 10, the 15 for 1, 2, or 3 points, and let them run a play for extra points. I don't know. It's a cool concept. So anyway, I'm not trying to be negative. Of course not. But come on, things are jacked up because we're not turning to God. We're going away from God, turning away from Jesus Christ. That's and he said that's it's going to happen. Revelation. So anyway, to make that decision, you got to choose side here. There's nothing in the middle. God or the world is saying that's it. Choices. So make it quick. Um, oh, okay. And talking about sports, do not, please, I pray, do not get into the sport books betting. And if you do, you do. It's your choice. But I'm saying, as I heard, um, I'd have to look it up again. I heard it's really bad in Europe, and it's like just destroying people. It's crazy. It's like plague, or it's really decimating people over there, or something that do it with it. I don't know. I may be wrong. If I am, okay, sorry, but I heard it's horrible. You got all these sports books, FanDuel and BetDog. I didn't even know. Forgot the names of them all. I'm sorry. You have to excuse me for that. And they make it sound so exciting, so cool, like you're gonna win. And of course, celebrities are doing it very sad. That's a sad thing. Um, all I gotta say is please do not get yourself involved in these sport book betting things. They make it sound so good. Oh, you put $5 in, we'll give you 1,000 points, or we'll give you 500 of this or that or this or that. It's money, okay? There's no guarantee in anything, right? So there's no guarantee. So please don't do that if you can't help it. Don't get into these sports betting garbage. So, so anyway, like I said, we're going to reschedule our Bible discussion on the eight Beatitudes another evening, and Brother Jason will uh, join us. And let's see. So I'm just going to do some news, and I do positive news. I don't do anything you're going to see on your local social media television garbage mix. All right. So let's see what we got. What do we got? All right. This one is a grandma pushes her granddaughter out of a car's path and takes the hit herself. And a California grandmother is being a hero after her quick instincts saved her granddaughter's life during a terrifying moment outside Reagan Elementary School in Clovis. The family says the pair were waiting to cross when a car suddenly came toward them. In a split second, she had to react. The grandmother did what grandmothers do and protected the grandchild. She pushed her young granddaughter out of harm's way just before the vehicle struck her instead. Man, that's what you do. That's what you do. And the girl's mother said the outcome would have been far different. Of course. Anyway, oh, yeah, I lost the page. That was weird. Lost the page. So anyway, his grandmother took the hit of a car for her granddaughter. And the grandmother suffered some serious injuries and was rushed to the hospital. Doctors expect her to make it full recovery. The young girl who broke her clavicle is home. The family hopes the incident brings awareness to longstanding safety concerns in the area, but more than anything, we're thankful for the incredible bravery that turned a near tragedy into a story of love and heroism. Don't tell me that God puts people in places they need to be. All right. And this is a Secret Santa surprises Idaho couple who adopted four siblings after having five of their own. So this is Michelle and Von Full learned that their four siblings had lost their mother and were about to split up. They couldn't bear the thought of the children being separated. So already parents of five of their own biological kids, the whole family decided to open their home and their hearts to all four. Kudos, shout out for that. And so they've got what, 9 kids now. Oh, how it should the show for me and then for me. Anyway, and life for their now family of 11 infants with love, laughter, and beautiful care. Recently, the full space commander said that while giving another family a ride to primary children's hospital for the child medical appointment, the engine in their commuter car blew. I left them with just a 15-passenger van, forcing Vaughn to borrow a friend's truck just to get to work. A local Secret Santa stepped in to make Christmas a little bit fun. The anonymous donor who gave away 1 million in gifts to deserving people across eastern Idaho this holiday, prized the polls with an incredible act of generosity, brand new car, spending cash, and food, groceries. Man, there's saints, there's angels among us. I'm telling you, really. And some celebrities you hear that do really cool things. And Gary Sinise seems to be one of them. Um, he donated 1 million to transform Nashville Church into a haven for healing veterans. Because why aren't our veterans taken care of a lot better? Why? I all right. This is like chapped lip seeds or what the chapstick stuff in the room. So why these? I never got into the military. I wanted to get into the Coast Guard. Thought that would be, really cool because I'd seen the rescue, how they, rescue and stuff like that. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So, you know, but anyway, these men and women fought for this country and then they're just thrown away. Never, I don't get, I don't get it. Anyway, a once abandoned church in Nashville is getting a second life as a place of hope and healing for veterans. The actor and philanthropist Gary Sinise did a 1 million donation from his foundation and helping transform the old building into a 24-hour arts center for veterans through the nonprofit creative events. And founded by Richard Casper, a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and Purple Heart recipient, creative vets help veterans process trauma through art, music, writing, and creative expression. Casper's vision for the new center is to create a welcoming space where veterans can turn pain into something beautiful, a place to go when PTSD hits, instead of a bar or other destructive environment, drugs, drinking, you know. But the journey hasn't been without challenges. Just weeks after creative vets purchased the former church, vandals damaged its windows and interior, leaving Casper disheartened. They're just bad people, stupid people, ignorant people who just don't have anything else to do. But who cares, right? Cared. Still, the veteran didn't give up. He leaned on the same message he shared with others, asked for help. Soon volunteers were filling the space learning to make stained glass to replace what's broken and helping breathe new life into the building. Gary Sinise, he portrayed a Vietnam veteran, of course, in Forrest Gump, saying he was deeply moved by creative imagination. For his foundation, Sinise has long supported veterans, first responders, and their families. Sinise's donation not only helped secure the property, but also inspired other donors to join up. Performance space at the new center will be dedicated to Sinise's late son, Matt, the gifted artist and musician who passed away last year after a long battle with cancer. I don't keep up with celebrities and then just like that to start. But very cool, very nice, very nice. Let's see. I always like hearing these stories. Very interesting. So, a couple turned their home into a hedgehog hospital with a maternity ward and ambulances. And this is in Burntisland, Fight. A big-hearted couple has transformed their family home into a hospital for hedgehogs, complete with a maternity ward, intensive care unit, and even a fleet of volunteer hedgehog ambulances. Sharon and Andy Long first started Gardaland Hedgehog Haven nearly 3 years ago after rescuing two sick hedgehogs they found by the roadside. The experience inspired them to learn how to care for the tiny creatures, and before long, their passion turned into a full-time mission to save them. Since then, the Longhursts have treated 567 hedgehogs, caring for sick, injured, and orphan ones around the clock. The garage has been transformed into an ICU with 7 incubators and 4 cages. While the garden now hosts special hedgehog maternity wards, a dedicated team of 18 volunteers helps with cleaning, feeding, and transporting hedgehogs and the rescues ambulances, hog, ambulances. Sorry to say, hog ambulances. Oh man, there's a picture of one. That's cool. And there's the ambulance with the hedgehog on front. Sharon, who works as a school crossing guard, and Andy, a bus driver, and poured their hearts and much of their free time into keeping the rescue running. They even fundraise through local events where races to cover monthly costs of about 800. I guess that would be involved for food, bedding, electricity, plus another 3,500 a year for vet bills. Nice doing this. It food me off again. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. So anyway, finish this. Look here tonight. Really? Okay. Now, the couple's incredible work hasn't gone unnoticed. They were recently recognized at the BBC's Make a Difference Award in Scotland. And of the hundreds of hedgehogs they've treated, 65% have survived and been released back into the wild. The meaningful achievement given that European hedgehogs are now listed as near threatened due to habitat loss and other environmental pressures. Of course, because and a community raises 30,000 to bless candy vendor with cerebral palsy who works 6 days a week for nearly a decade. Staten Island resident Andy had been familiar and heartline sight along Highland Boulevard, slowly pushing his candy cart up and down the beach street, rain or shine. We used to have an old guy in the city who had a cart And he would walk with this cart, and he had like a bell on the side of it. He would take a hammer and hit this bell. And what he did is he sharpened blades from this cart. And this guy was around for years. And you would see him all over pushing this cart, sharpening the sharpened blades, saws or whatever you had to sharpen, axes, whatever. And he would sharpen them right from the cart. Um, we used to say hi to him, and he used to give us gum. And nice, nice old man. And we never asked what he did. I found out later what he did. But he would just push this cart all over the neighborhoods, all over. And he sharpened blades from the cart he would push. So man, nothing like that anymore. Mm, It's that. Good to see that. But this guy kind of does the same thing, except it's canned. So what makes the dedication all the more remarkable is that Andrew lives with cerebral palsy, and he works 6 days a week, greeting commuters with a smile that inspired countless people. This holiday season, one local woman decided it's time for Andy to be blessed in return for all the joy he brings to others. Romano shared how Andy's daily perseverance reminded her of her late brother, Bert, who also lived with cerebral palsy based on challenges, the same unwavering positivity. Her heartfelt post struck a chord with thousands of people online, and donations quickly reached in. Romano wants to surprise Andy with a special gift this holiday season, something that will allow him to take a well-earned break, enjoy a short vacation, or buy himself something nice. And they had raised $30,000. And she said she plans to personally hand deliver every donation and message of encouragement to Andy before Christmas. That's what it's about. You'll never hear down, you heroes. Hopefully, it was really. And a Florida church wipes out 6.5 million in medical debt for thousands of residents. Florida church gave thousands of families and its community the gift of a fresh start. Transformation Church in Pensacola partnered with the nonprofit Undo Medical Debt to erase a staggering 6.8 million in medical debt for local residents. The church raised 40,000 in donations, which Undo Medical Debt used to purchase and pay off medical debt portfolios, wiping out balances for an estimated 4,400 people. And as can be a surprise was made during a Sunday morning service on the back in on the second, when lead pastor Brad Livingston shared the incredible news with his congregation. The individuals whose medical debt was erased are not members of regular attendees of the church, just local residents who happen to be carrying medical debt purchased by the nonprofit. Because of privacy laws, the church won't know the names of the individuals whose debt was paid. Okay, that's fair. But Livingston said that's not what matters. Amen. Amen. That God gives, we give back. Period. God gives us so much. And I think we take it for granted. I take it for granted. And sometimes I just feel like I don't do them. I don't know. And I remember I help anybody else who like that God has given so much and some blessing and blessing, a job, just everything. And do I give back? Well, and if I do, um, do my crowds, slip tees and frat offs and the broadcast here, um, in just other ways, that I can give back. So I am truly blessed. Um, I have another one. This computer's doing weird stuff. Gotta love technology, right? Now, a high school football player helps a custodian clean up after the mess after the game. And you've never, the custodians always clean the bleachers. I don't think, like, when I worked, they didn't have a cleaning crew. The custodians went out and did it, plus what they had to do inside. Kind of, it was kind of rough, but it was a mess, right? So you're taking away from your regular route inside the school to come out and clean bleachers. I don't know. He's kind of frowned on. But anyway, I think the team should do it myself and keep their locker room and clean their locker room, but they don't. So anyway, enough of that. After a heated rivalry game in Lafayette, Louisiana, one high school football player's small act of kindness became the real highlight of the night. Turling's Catholic High School running back Hudson Clavel didn't just celebrate his team's win over St. Thomas More, he stayed behind to help clean up the stands. Head coach Michael Corbell snapped a photo of Clavel holding a trash bag and shared it online, praising the players' humility and servant leadership. When asked about it by local news, Clavel said he simply noticed that the custodian, known affectionately as Mr. B, was cleaning up alone and wanted to lend a hand. And that doesn't make sense either, unless it was on a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that. You usually just have one custodian, but to clean up entire bleachers is one custodian's not time. Um, but this young man, you know, wow, took it upon himself. That's a young man right there. We're going to go a long way. Little thing like that. And, and a police officer swims 100 yards against the current to rescue an injured dog. Police officer from Atlantic City is being praised for his actions after he dove into frigid water to rescue an injured dog struggling to stay afloat. Body camera footage and video from the Atlantic City Fire Department show Officer Matt Schmidt rushing in after spotting the stray dog in the bay near Venice Park. The dog, who had earlier slipped away from animal control, still had a catch pole around its neck when it leaped into the chilly water. Why don't mountain sense? Without hesitation, Officer Schmidt removed his shoes and gear before jumping in, battling the current. He swam roughly 100 yards to reach the right animal and carefully guided it back to shore. Thanks to his quick and selfless response, the dog was safely rescued, treated for its injuries, and later reunited with its grateful owner. Don't hear that often. Hats off to Officer Schmidt. Way to go. Way to go. You don't hear that enough. And a pit bull protects a missing child overnight until rescuers arrive. Family in Tampa is breathing a sigh of relief after a terrifying morning turned into a story of loyalty and love, and thanks to her protected dog. According to the news, a 2-year-old Jalen went missing early morning after his parents tucked him into bed around 11 the night before. When they woke up, the worst nightmare unfolded. Jalen was gone. His parents immediately called 911 around 6:40 in the morning, prompting a massive search by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Chief Deputy Joseph Maher said the parents were frantic as more than 200 officers, including canines and bloodhounds, spread out around the apartment complex and to look for the child. Thankfully, the search ended with the best possible outcome. A nearby resident found Jalen safe and sound, but the family's pit bull right by his side. Man, yeah, that's man's best friend. Nick, loyal, you know. The dog protected baby the whole time. And Jalen's parents still shaken, but grateful, so they're taking extra safety precautions around the dog. Oh yeah, you gotta. And while it was a frightening ordeal for the family, this heartwarming ending is a reminder of how powerful the bond between children and its pets can be. Absolutely. That's why, you know, that your pets are part of your family. You know, your pets are part of your family. They love you unconditionally. You get home from work. I mean, they act like they haven't seen you in days. They're right there by your side. They know when you're sick. They they sense things, and they are always there. It's what a gift from God. Um, what a gift from God. Yeah. So anyway, that was some news for tonight. So I hope uh, it was nice to hear some decent news, positive news instead of all your social media and crap you see on TV. Look up the news yourself. That's all I got to say. You just use your own judgment, whatever. Don't rely on your, don't rely on politics. Rely on God and God alone. So anyway, Thanksgiving, have a nice one. I don't know if I'm going to broadcast or not before that. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So anyway, like I said, Brother Jason is going to be back and we'll reschedule and we'll do the Bible topic on hate the attitudes. And I'll just keep doing more and holidays are coming up. So if you need anything as far as gift wise, I have slick teas and crafts and I got a Facebook page on it. You can look up on Facebook and I make vinyl and sublimation t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, hats, tumblers, coffee mugs, um, pillowcases, totes, handbags, I said luggage tags, animal tags. I make aprons. I make stuff, like a bunch of stuff, plates, plates. I make mouse pads, coasters, stuff like that. So anyway, it's been a blessing, and so anyway, slick teas and crafts, and I got a Facebook page on it. Look it up, and you need a gift. for the upcoming holidays. You know, shooting a message, with information. And what people do is they're texting me a picture of what they want on whatever. And I just, sublimation paper and copy it and then slap it on whatever they want and what they wanted to say and everything. So shares whatever, Yes. So anyway, um, have an awesome weekend. Be careful, be safe, and God bless. And I'll see you soon. Been a blessing. Thank you for spending time with me here. And any comments or suggestions, answered any of the questions you can, especially from politics, you can follow politics, follow the one and only follow above God. And then the dust with serve tripping falling. So you get right done. Don't just don't stretch it, get the brain that doesn't just keep on. Don't beat yourself up. It's part of Satan's plan. And I did that a while ago. You need to know our enemy too. So Satan is really, really stupid, very one dimensional. Pretty much the whole effective is a wow. It's effective. Okay, on that note, thank you very much. God bless. And we'll be back soon. All righty. So anyway, take care and God bless. Have an awesome weekend. We'll see you.